Well done.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Guys on the Truth Podcast. About to show you more.
We about to show you more.
T-Fees and Benita T.
Yeah.
You know we about to get
We
busy.
about to get busy.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. Yeah.
What's up, people? Welcome back to the Guys on the Truth Podcast. I am T-Feezy.
And I am Benita T.
So, we're back with another episode. Episode 13.
Honestly, I lost count.
Hmm.
I just been going with the flow.
Episode 13.
Getting up there.
Yep. So, before we get started, we just want to remind you guys of the drawing we got.
Oh yeah, and it's some new it's a new, did we mention that last time?
What?
That it's not gonna be 10 winners?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if we mentioned that, but yeah, it's gonna be one winner. One lone winner.
$250.
And it's so easy, you guys. Like, you don't literally have to do anything.
Just subscribe to the YouTube page, comment and like, and
Share the video.
Share
so
the video.
others can see. So they
And,
can subscribe.
screenshot it. Go to the Instagram page.
Well, what if people don't have an Instagram?
Everybody has an Instagram.
Not everybody. I just seen somebody say I don't have an Instagram.
Really?
Yes, I just seen on.
Well,
on
go
somebody
to either or go to the YouTube page. I mean, the Facebook page. It's go down in the description.
and you'll find all the links.
You'll find all the links to all the social media. Just message any of them, any of the social media, and leave a message. Did I say that twice?
Yeah, I think so.
Whatever.
It's a glitch in the matrix.
Well,
It's a lot of glitches in the matrix lately.
Matrix.
Yeah, that's what we living in.
So what's been going on? What's been going on in your neck of the woods?
In my neck of the woods, pretty much same old. Nothing new, nothing exciting. Told you I got
Jesus
a boring.
Christ.
I got a boring mom life. Like, people think my life is exciting. It's not.
Okay, who thinks that?
I don't know. Somebody might, but it's not. I'm just telling you right now. I need to regain my life back.
It's over.
My life is not over until I'm 6 feet under.
You
Nobody's
have
life
kids.
is over.
You got
Wait,
kids.
Okay, first of all, my kids are at the age where they can take care of themselves.
One thing.
Basically,
This is what we gotta get in our community. We have to get under control. Women, if you have children that's of age to where they could be going to the club soon, I think you should stay out of the club.
well, none of my kids can go to the club. I don't even
Pretty
like going.
soon they could.
Well, okay. Listen, I don't like to go to the club anymore. That scene
Well,
is
I'm not
done.
talking to you.
But it's little.
I'm talking to the ones, the moms that have.
I don't see
They
nothing wrong
even
with
go
it. So why
to the
do?
club with their kids.
Listen, I wouldn't go to the club with my child. But what's wrong with a person going to the club if they have kids?
And taking pictures in front of the backdrop of
People do
plies.
that. I don't think nobody does
And the
that
big
anymore.
Cadillac. Yes, they do.
I don't think people do that no
Oh,
more.
yes, they do.
Where have you seen that lately?
Scroll through Facebook. The
Oh my
hood
God!
version
Well, that
of
I
the
guess that
hood-
just show how long it's been since I've
the
been in the club.
ghettoest of ghettoest clubs in America. They still have backdrops where they take pictures.
Well,
of
okay,
them.
yeah, those little, hole in the walls, probably, but
Remember those those pictures. These people used taking those chairs.
those wicker chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were the days. But
Flashing the
I don't
money.
think there's nothing wrong with a parent going to the club. Like if you're making it like a weekly, two to three times a week thing.
Why do people feel the need to flash their money in pictures?
Because the same way people feel the need to show their cars and show clothes, expensive clothes,
Why do they feel the need to do that?
because they equate having money and having material things with a degree of success and importance. So I think that's why people do it. Or it's like, oh, look at me, look what I got. So
I think that
I've never taken a money picture.
that is rooted in some kind of childlike mentality.
Let me think before I say that. Before somebody pull up a receipt saying I don't think I've ever that's not even something I would want to do. I've never posted a money picture. Nope.
Yeah, that is a childlike mentality. Look what I got.
People who do that, to me, it's like them saying, well, to me, it looks like you really don't have no money. Because people with real money keeps their money in banks. And what you call those things? Like what the real rich people have.
I don't know. You said it. Bank accounts.
Not it's like
Credit
a bank account.
cards?
No, it's like a bank account, but it's like a brokerage. Like that's where real people, like people with real money, that's where they keep their money.
Someone told you that.
No, nobody told me that. I know that for a fact.
How do
I
you know
told
that?
you when I become a millionaire, I'm going to what is it, Charles Schwab? Yes, they're gonna handle my money when
That's
I become
an
a millionaire.
investment company.
Well, yeah, they're gonna invest my money for me. So you acting like I
A
don't
broker.
know.
What that?
I think they do brokerage too. They do all of that. So you be trying to come for me. I think you owe me a public apology too for last week.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. Boy, people don't never want to be wrong, but you do.
No, I don't.
Okay. If you feel like you don't, then don't give it to me because then it would be fake if you did.
Well, it's fake. Because
Okay.
I don't.
But he do. He tried to say I was wrong about Black Matter, and I was actually right. So, yeah, let's just put that on record.
It's not true.
It's true.
Whatever.
Anyways, how was your week?
My week was good. A little tired, but
As everybody, I think everybody is just tired, ready for 2020 to be over with. I don't know why.
I'm going to be starting a new portion of this show.
Call what?
Callers.
Callers.
Yeah, for people to call in.
Okay. So
And-
that would mean we would have to be live.
No, it doesn't.
So how are we going to communicate with them?
What do you mean? They can call in and I'll patch them through. Just like I'm talking to you.
Okay, but wouldn't that have to... Oh, I don't know how that works, but okay, I guess that'll work.
don't try to figure out technical if you don't know the technical side of this.
I never
Don't
said
try
I
to
was.
figure it out.
Listen, I'll be the first one. I've always said I'm not no techie. So when it comes to technical stuff, I'm illiterate to it.
So if
I know a little
you
bit, though.
have something interesting to say or add to the conversation, call in. There will be a call-in number. We will be taking phone calls. If you have,
So are we going to be able to talk back to them?
no, we won't be able to talk back.
Well,
to
that's
them.
what I was saying. So they're just calling in, leaving what they feel.
Are you serious?
What are
We
you?
won't be able to talk back to them. Like I said, don't try to figure this out.
That's why I'm asking the question.
If you call into a radio station,
Right.
do they hear them?
Yes, but the people on the other side get to talk back to them. So that's what I'm saying. Are we going to be able to talk to them, or are they just
No,
like
we're not
leaving?
going to talk. How are we going to?
I don't know what he's saying, but anyways, I guess whatever. Because
I don't. She doesn't know what I'm saying.
No, I don't. What you want me to say?
If you
I
call
do.
into a radio station, can you hear them?
That's why I said, are we going to be live? You just said, no, we're
Oh
not
my
going to be
God.
live.
Oh my God! Like I said, don't try it. Don't wreck your brain.
You know what? I'm tired of you trying to make it seem like I don't know nothing when I know a lot. You need to be clear.
You making yourself sound like
Be
that.
clear. Are we going?
You
It's a question. Yes or no?
Everybody
going to
can.
be live?
Everybody can understand what I'm saying.
No, because you're not being clear. Are we going to be live or are we not?
No, we're not going to be live. It's going to be a
Okay.
pre-recorded show,
So we're not
like it
gonna be
always
live.
is.
Okay. So
What does we have being live have to do with anything?
a lot, because if people are calling in, they would need to. We would have to be live recording the show for them to call in.
You know what? You have a point.
Okay, so please apologize to me.
No, I won't.
See, people don't want to be wrong. I know I be making sense.
But they'll be able to talk to us about, well, that needs some more mulling over.
Then you might as well say it's a message line, because if they're
No,
not
it's
going to
not.
be able to talk
Because-
to us while we're actually
No,
recording.
okay, here's what we'll do. Here's what we do. Here's what we will do. Everybody who's listening, follow us on Facebook. All right? And the moment we go live, or if you're subscribed to us, I will be able to send out that we're going live.
on YouTube.
You know what? We can go live.
You can. That's why I asked the question.
Well, yes, it will be a live show.
Jeez.
Yes. What is
Telling me I'm not technical.
what is her name?
Now, how you gonna ask in the middle of the show what some lady on TV name is? I don't know. Ashanti Ford.
Ooh, she is.
She's with Bay News 9. Okay, so
Ashanti Ford, if you're listening to this, can you please call into the show?
anyways,
We got some things to talk about.
ooh.
From Bay News 9.
Anyways, so yeah, I guess he gonna figure that out. But
No, we will be going live, and I will drop this show title, what we're talking about. You know what? If you have an interesting story, call in.
Yeah, you can call in and give your stories. Like,
We'll-
don't listen. We'll cut you off if you call in with some bull.
No, we want the bull.
No, I mean, like, crazy stuff. Like,
Hey,
we
I want it
this
all.
is a brand, so we can't let people just
We
go
are
wild.
here. We are here. We are here for the.
Listen, I used to
We are here for the buffoonery.
I work 99% of what I do is on the phone with people. And do you know some of the people, not most, but we get some really creepy callers.
Oh,
so you're gonna let that fly?
No, not no creepy stuff.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So if you try to call in with some creepy,
Like,
freaky
don't
stuff,
call in with no heavy breathing.
Yeah, I'm serious. Like, I'd be on the phone and people be.
Unless you're a woman.
That's
I won't
disgusting.
hear it.
I don't want to hear it.
No, you
And
can leave it. I'll talk to them.
no, I don't want to hear it.
I'll talk to them.
You're disgusting. Anyways, so I guess he'll fill everybody in on that because apparently I'm not techie enough to do it.
It's in the works. We have the ability to do it. It's just let us know in the comments.
Okay, so I guess we need to get into these topics because we got a good one for y'all today. We ain't gonna stay too much on the entertainment news, but we do got a couple topics for y'all. The first one is, well, if you haven't been living under a rock, you probably already know that our president, and people gonna feel some type of way about me saying president, but he is the president. So, but anyways, he came out Friday and said that him and Melania, First Lady Melania, they tested positive for COVID. So, and that came after his close advisor, Hope Hicks, tested positive. So now, we got to bring everybody up to speed if you don't know. So he was supposed to quarantine inside of the White House, but he said, no, he's not going to do that. He was like, he had the choice to stay inside in quarantine. He said they told him to go up into the quarters where they stay and just stay there. He said no, he's the president, he can't just sit there and just quarantine, and they're right in the season of all their debates, and then they go on these what do they call them, the presidential trail where they go to different states and stuff. Rallies. Yeah, campaign rally. So they're right in the middle of campaign season. So, this couldn't have come at a worse time. But instead of him staying in.
Oh, I think this is great timing.
Well, that's what a lot of people are saying. They're saying that he doesn't have it. Well, they feel he doesn't have it. He has it. Well,
I think this is only going. I think this is a blessing in disguise.
It was a blog that said, and they did a poll, and 64% of the people who voted said they don't believe he have it. And I've been seeing different posts around social media where people have said they don't believe he have it because different reasons. It's going to take the attention off of Biden. It's going to bring more attention to him. I've heard people saying that he has stock in the medicine, the company.
Which is not true.
It's all alleged because nobody has any facts of this unless you come out with hard facts that you actually took a test yourself and swabbed him and took it under a microscope and analyzed it. You can't say if he do or don't. These are just all speculations. But he did go to Walter Reed Hospital, and he was there for a couple of days because his oxygen levels had dropped a little bit. So they did take him there for some observation. He did a what you call it? I can't for some reason the words is slipping my mind. He did a broadcast from the hospital where he he was thanking the whole hospital staff. He said that's one of the best hospitals in the world. So yeah, he was pretty much giving an update. He said he felt great. He didn't have any severe symptoms. He was in a presidential suite. I wonder where he was at because that behind him looked real fancy. Must be the president. He was in a presidential room. They must have it. Yeah, they must do. He said he'll be back soon. He said he he'll be back, and he's looking forward to finishing up the campaign. So yeah, so now recently bringing
He's
everybody
out of the hospital now.
Yeah, bringing everybody up to speed. He's out of the hospital. He's back into the White House. He said he feels better. The drugs that he was on, he feels better than he did 20 years ago. So
Wow.
he even said these drugs are like a miracle from God. He
Wow.
said this, out of his mouth. He said these drugs that he took is a miracle. He's astounded, and it's like a miracle from God. So I don't know what these drugs are. I mean, there is they do have names of the actual drugs, so you can go look it up and see what he was actually taking. But apparently,
Good for Trump. I was so concerned. I woke up Friday. What was that? Saturday, and he dropped the information saying he had COVID.
Yeah, I seen it Friday.
And I was like, what the heck is going on?
Which it came right after the debate. Oh, and to add, Biden and his wife, they did test negative. The moderator of the debate, he tested negative. He said that because Trump came late, he didn't get the COVID test. So that's why they didn't know at the time he had COVID, because apparently at the debate he had COVID. So yeah. But everybody else that was there apparently has tested negative. So but what I do want to...
Isn't that funny? Biden is the one that looks like he had COVID.
Listen, I don't know. It's all
Biden
crazy.
was definitely on some kind of...
I think if Biden was to, test positive, I don't think they would tell it.
Did you see his eyes?
I seen his creepy eyes when he kept looking in the camera, talking to the people. I felt oddly weird.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal.
I felt oddly weird, like almost like he was like a creep.
He didn't
was looking at you.
He sounds like a drunkard.
Well, Trump said he think he's on some type of drugs.
He
so
definitely is.
He may be. I don't know. That's just allegedly. Okay, we don't got no proof of that. So, but I do want to talk about this because I had mentioned this on Facebook. I just think it's utterly disgusting. Now, like I said, I get why. You don't have to like the guy. You don't have to like Trump. You can think he's this, that, and the third. You could think all of that. But I've seen people hoping and wishing that this man die. Like, it's some really sick, messed up people in this world. It's like, what did this man do to you No. What did he do to you personally? You personally.
Nothing.
That makes you wish death upon him and his
They're
wife.
so brainwashed, they don't even know what they're talking about.
I presented the other question. What has Biden done for the African American community that has benefited us? Now, I have another question. I'm not going to give no money on this one. But I want to know, what has Trump done to you personally that has affected your life?
Have you even gave any money away?
No, because I already knew I wasn't going to give no money away.
Oh, so that's why you made because you knew you wasn't. Okay.
Listen, that was basically because it doesn't exist is what I'm saying. But people are so hell bent on he's such this great man. So I'm saying, back what you're saying. You got to be able to back something up that you're saying. So maybe it's something I missed. Maybe it's something I don't know. So tell me, but nobody was able to do that. So that, right there, case closed on that one. But I want to know, what did Trump do to you personally that affected your life? That you want to wish death on this man.
They don't know nothing, because it's nothing he done to them. Only thing
you got to do something horrible to somebody to wish death on them.
This is the only thing they're gonna say.
He's racist.
They're gonna parrot everything the news say.
Everything the media says. Yep. He's racist. He's ruining the country.
No.
He's this,
no.
He's
what have you actually seen with your 2 eyes that he's done?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
What you really have seen personally,
Yep.
other than what the news have
Or
said.
you know what else they're gonna say? Oh, he hasn't denounced the KKK, which is a complete
Yes, he
and utter
has.
lie.
Because
He's not even done
made
it once. He's done
He's
it
made it a
numerous of
law.
times.
He's made it a law that the KKK is now a terrorist
terrorist
organization, and he's made it a law that lynching. What was it? That lynching, the lynching law.
Yep, lynching is it's a hate crime, and So I mean, for somebody, and you guys can't be that. I mean, people who believe that this man is actually racist and he's never denounced the KKK.
Obama had 8 years to do that. Why haven't he did it? The black man, you say.
Biden had 47 years. Why didn't he do it? The next black hope. He had all those years. Even Kamala had more years in Congress than Trump did. What did she do?
Trump wasn't even a politician. He's a businessman.
That's what I'm saying. She had more years. She has more years and more experience in politics than Trump. What did she do? Oh, I can go online right now and I can find so much stuff that she's did to damage the black community. And don't come at me with that was years ago. Come on now. Because y'all be bringing up stuff about Trump from years ago. Oh,
he never did nothing real.
Well, the big thing is what they want to say is
real.
He wouldn't let black people live in his building.
Okay, now
that's what makes
you
him
talking about Trump that has $1 billion company. You think he's the one that's actually telling everybody, oh yeah, he can come in.
And I seen somebody on my
that's childlike to even
that's
childlike to even think that Trump is the actually one approving everybody to move into his buildings. Like, okay, there's not a leasing office or however they do it,
right? Yep.
And you think he's approving everybody that comes in there and say, I want to live here? Give me a break.
And another thing I want to bring up is a lot of people are saying, oh, it's his fault he got COVID because he didn't wear a mask. Now, let's just get this straight right now. So the CDC, they were back and forth with the mask. 1 minute they say it worked, next minute they say it don't work. Okay, you can go on YouTube where people are doing experiments where they're spraying things through the mask and it's going right through the mask. So all those masks are not made the same. So all of them do not work the same. Okay, let's get that understood. Secondly, it's people who have gotten, and I'm just going to say C-19. That's what we're going to call it. It's people who have contracted that, who have done everything right. They wear their masks, they social distance, they wash their hands, and they still contracted the virus, and some even died. So what that's saying to me...
Wait, that's not a real fact.
That is a real fact.
Who do you know that...
Okay, my mother said somebody who didn't never even leave their house.
Okay, that's hearsay. You can't.
So you saying she lying?
I'm saying that's hearsay.
Okay, but I'm getting that from her. I don't
That's
think my mother
hearsay.
is a liar.
Well, I don't know what she do.
Okay, but no, you could go. It's information
That
out
is hearsay.
there.
You can't put that out.
Okay, well,
that's not a fact. We don't.
Okay, so supposedly
that.
a friend of hers who never left the house, who was complete quarantine, somehow she ended up contracting, C-19. So we'll just say apparently, but it is people who have come out and said they did everything right and they still got it. So that's telling me is whether you wear the mask or if you don't wear the mask, you can still get it. What if you touch something? What if you touch something?
But you still go to McDonald's and eat cheeseburgers and French fries and drink sodas and stuff.
No,
But
not
I'm
only that.
quarantining.
No.
I'm quarantining, and
Not
I'm wearing a
only that,
mask.
have you seen how many?
And I'm washing my hands. But I go to McDonald's and eat a double cheeseburger.
No. Let me
with
bring all these people real. I'm
French
finna get
fries
them.
and a
I'm
Coke.
finna get them together real quick. Okay, so the same people who hate Trump and is wishing death on him were the same people at First Friday.
Wait, what are you talking about?
The same people who are wishing death on Trump and saying that he didn't wear his mask.
You just switched the direction of the conversation.
We were
talking about people contracting.
That's what I'm saying. You didn't let me finish. Those were the same people, okay, at First Friday at the club with no mask on. Now make that make sense.
Okay, who cares?
These are the same people that are at parties and pool parties with no mask on. You could see pictures. Bootsy, he threw a pool party. All those people that were at his pool party, nobody had on a mask. But these are the same people who are saying, "Oh, Trump got COVID because he didn't have on a mask."
Wait, Boosie said something?
No, I didn't say Boosie said something. I said Boosie gave a pool party. He had pictures and all these people. It was so crowded and none of them had on a mask. But these are the same people who are saying Trump got COVID because he refused to wear a mask.
Did you see somebody from the party that said that?
Really? No, I didn't see somebody from the party. I'm saying these are the group of people that are saying this because come on, let's be honest. Most majority of the African American community is not for Trump right now. So let's just keep it all the way 100. Most of the African American community is not for Trump.
You don't know if that's true.
Well, from what I've been seeing, most of them are not.
Okay, you getting that from the news?
No, I'm getting that from like just being on social media, looking at what people say. I'm not getting that from the news.
Let's just say the people that you know.
I don't know these people.
If you're on social media,
I don't know them. Not personally.
Friends.
No. You can go on Instagram, go on the Shade Room, whenever they put up a post about Trump. All you see, every single
That's media.
Every single comment, but it's still okay. This is real live people talking though. Every single comment is something negative.
We all know if the Shade Room post put up a post,
just the Shade Room.
That's for one way. Everybody in those comments is gonna, well, not everybody, but most likely a good amount that's gonna be parroting what the post says because everybody's followers. Everybody want to get their comment liked.
That's what I'm saying.
But
like,
do they feel like that really?
I don't know if they feel like that really.
Okay.
I don't know. But what I'm saying is, from what I've been seeing, well, I don't know because I don't know the percentage.
We all know social media is they don't.
I don't know the exact percentage of, but like I said, even on his own
people
website,
people say the popular opinion on social media, but
well, even if you say the unpopular opinion, people
different way in their
you.
head. When you sit alone with yourself, I know that's a foreign thing nowadays. When you not having a phone in front of you 24/7, but if you ever get time to sit down and have alone time without a phone or anything in front of you and really do some real deep thinking. That's a foreign thing. I know it is these days. But what are you saying? What is your inner voice saying to you? What is the real you saying? Okay? Are you parroting what the media is saying?
Oh, I know some people who was in the club with no mask on who hates Trump guts. Yeah,
again,
I do know.
They're parroting what the media is saying.
It doesn't matter. It's just the irony of it all.
They've been brainwashed. They've been brainwashed to hate this guy.
It's the irony. It's like, how are you gonna sit up here and then, like I said, be careful what you wish on others, because that stuff can listen. It's power in your tongue, in your words that
Yeah.
you say. You
You
got to be
get hung.
careful what you put
you
out.
ever heard of being hung by the tongue?
You got to be very careful with the words you speak, and especially when you're wishing and trying to curse, because really that's what you're doing. When you're telling somebody you hope they die, you're cursing them. Them curses can turn back on you.
No,
Yes,
that's
you
not
are.
real. You can never curse someone with your words, because when you speak words, you're speaking your words in your own life. You don't
That's what I'm
have
saying.
you
It turns
as
back
a
on you.
human don't have the power to speak anything into someone else's life.
That's exactly
when
what I'm
you
saying.
speak
It turns
words,
back on
the
you.
words only, it doesn't turn back. It only speaks in your life. When you speak something bad, you can say you're speaking bad to somebody because you don't have that power to speak it into someone else's life. That's impossible. That's not how things work here.
Well, that's
on
not.
the
That's
planet
not.
Earth.
That's not. A lot of people don't believe that. It's people that don't believe that.
Well, that's the
why
way
a
it
lot of
is.
people. Do you know? It's actual
You
cultures.
cannot. That's why you have people that say
It's in the African
this
culture.
person's done. They done said they done wish bad on somebody, and it ended up happening to them.
Yeah, that's what. I know
Because
that. But
that's-
what I'm saying
the
is,
thing
but it's
you
a
don't
lot of
have
people
that
don't.
ability to wish something in somebody's life.
But in the African culture, they don't, and I think it's the Oriental Asian culture too. When they're getting, or something good is about to happen in their life, especially when they are pregnant, they don't announce it right away, because they feel like people who your enemies can say evil things towards your baby and cause your baby to for you to have a miscarriage or
false.
something. Well, I'm just saying, a lot of people believe that
That's
way.
false. That's false.
A lot of people, when they I've heard people
That's
say,
called
if you're getting ready to
that's called superstitious. That's
well,
false.
Listen, you may think it's false, but to
No,
somebody else,
that's false.
listen, you can't tell somebody else what they
Listen.
believe is false. You believe it's false. You may know in your heart, in your mind, you may feel like 100%
Now you're
it's false.
talking propaganda.
I'm not talking propaganda. I'm a true believer. You cannot tell somebody else they're wrong because you think you're right. You may be right. You may be 100% right, but you can't tell the next man he's wrong because you believe, because he's gonna tell you the same thing. So who's right?
What are you
Who's
talking
right?
about?
Okay, if somebody come here right now and say, no, you're wrong.
I'm
and
not
you're
talking to anybody. I'm talking
giving
on
an
my
example.
show. I'm speaking. I am teaching.
Yeah, but you just said, nope, that's wrong. That's completely wrong.
That is wrong. That's completely wrong.
Okay. What I'm saying is, you may believe it to be wrong, but somebody else may not believe it
I'm
to
not
be
talking
wrong.
to them.
Who are you talking to? You're talking
I'm
to the
teaching.
audience.
I'm teaching.
Okay, but it's people in the audience. You're not talking to yourself.
Well,
It's people in the audience who may not feel that way.
I am here to tell you that's not how things work here. On the planet Earth, you cannot speak things into someone else's life. You don't have that ability. You only have that ability to speak in your life. That's why it looks like when you have all these situations where, someone spoke bad on somebody else and it came back on them. No, it
But
didn't
you've
come because
never
they
heard-
spoke it in their own life.
You never heard anybody say somebody said something bad about somebody and it happened? You never heard that? Because I have a lot of times.
They spoke something bad about someone and it
Listen,
happened.
it's a man.
That could
Look,
be
I'ma give y'all a quick.
The person could have heard it and it affected their life. Then they started thinking it in their life.
Listen, this guy I used to date, to this day, he said I cursed him. I didn't curse him. I just knew that type of person, nothing good was going to come to. But he believes in his heart, to this day, I don't put curses on people, okay? I don't do that. So he believes to this day, every time I talk to him, he says, I cursed his life, because he said ever since we broke up, his life went into shambles. And he said, because I told him that, and I told him that when we broke up, I said nothing good is going to come to you for the way you treat people.
You didn't make it that happen.
I
to
know
him.
I didn't. That's what
He
I'm saying.
took what you
I
said
know I
and
didn't.
that played on and on in his brain.
That's
He
what-
spoke that in his own life.
But okay, but what I'm
you
saying,
can that's why you can't let
okay, that's
other
exactly what I'm
people
saying.
affect your life. What they say, you can't.
So it can go.
You can.
both ways. If you allow that,
Yeah, if you
then
allow
it
it,
will
but
happen.
if you allow it, you are allowing it to happen. You are actually doing it to yourself. If you allow those thoughts, if you if you allow those words to affect
to
your
resonate
life,
in you. Yeah.
yes, because it's an ongoing
Of
thing
course.
in your brain
so
that you're
that's
telling
what I'm
yourself.
saying. That's what I'm saying. That's why a lot of people, when
Yes,
they get
you
ready to
can.
have surgery, they don't tell people because they don't want people saying negative things to them. Because sometimes that stuff can resonate with you and it can go into your
Yeah.
subconscious mind, and then it will manifest.
Because you are
You
the
know.
one doing that to yourself.
Yeah, but what
That
I'm
person
saying
is not doing it
is
to you.
he
That
real
just
deal,
gave they
and I
gave you the
keep-
thought.
I
See,
keep telling him that's
once
not
a
true.
thought, okay, the thought is out there, right? Okay, you either can take it in or reject it.
I've actually come to think about it, I actually told a couple people this, and it actually happened, which is odd. But it ain't me because I don't curse people, but it really did happen. It really did happen. Their life turned into shambles. Hey, I don't know, but yeah. It's people who believe that way. It's people who don't. But be careful about just saying stuff out your mouth because
You can't wish bad on somebody.
yeah,
That's impossible. You actually wishing bad on yourself. So all the people that wish Trump bad,
you
you're
better
actually
just
wishing
watch
it on
out.
yourself.
Watch out and hope that
You better ask for forgiveness.
yeah, for real. And it ain't even like I said. You can hate him all day, every day, and hate. I'm a strong believer in hate. Is such a strong emotion.
Here's the thing. If
He
you
has control over
if you
you.
really dislike someone, the most powerful thing you can do is just cut them off.
Ignore him.
Ignore them because
Ignore him. Yep.
that's the more powerfulest thing you
But
can
you
do.
know, I've seen people actually getting mad because this man went to the hospital. They're literally, I've seen posts, and these are people that I know. I'm not gonna mention no names, but I've seen posts from people literally angry, like fueled with anger because this man went to the hospital and because he had a whole TV crew come into the hospital. Listen, okay, he's the president of the United States.
Are these people nuts?
Yeah, literally mad because he went to the hospital because they were saying that and they probably will listen to this, but I don't care. They said that it's people who are dying and they can't even get their family members, like their family members can't even come into the hospital, but yet and still he gets into the hospital, he gets to go. And then they were also saying that how the hospital's been turning people away with serious, and that's true. It has been hospitals because they were filled with capacity. They have been turning people away, but
hospitals are not filled with the capacity.
Well, that's what. So that's what the media is saying. That's what the media is saying.
There's been exposing videos showing that when the news reporters have actually paid people to drive their cars into the hospital parking lot and act like it was full, but when the news cameras leave, the hospital is completely empty. There's people who've been exposing that.
Listen, I already know what's up with this whole thing, but I'm saying people are like this particular person was literally furious because of the fact that, and like I said, look at Chrissy Teigen and John Legend.
So
they had a camera crew in there.
The hospital is so full and overran that they have the nurses and doctors have time to do TikTok videos.
Listen, I know how it go, but what I'm saying is this person got furious because
listen, he
was
we're gonna
in the
call that
hospital.
something. We're gonna call that you're hypnotized by the media.
And
People
then
like that
people
are
mad.
hypnotized by the media.
So people are mad because he before I think it was yesterday, he was out and he was riding in the car and he was waving to his supporters that was outside. People were mad about that. They were saying, oh, he's using the tax people money and he's putting those Secret Service member lives in danger.
People that talk like that probably don't pay taxes anyways. They probably ain't got no job.
Your mother. She said it.
Who?
Your mother.
She ain't got no job.
She do. That's a bold-faced lie. Yes, she do.
Yeah.
Listen. Okay, you know, this a former Secret Service agent, he came out and he said it's no big deal, and this is the same way I explained it to my mother, because we had this conversation this morning about, because she was saying he's putting people's lives into danger. When you sign up for the Secret Service, you know exactly what you're getting into. Their life is so much more in danger. Just any time the president steps out of that White House, their lives are in danger. So it's not just yesterday.
Listen,
because he was
just
riding
parroting
around.
what the news said.
Of course. But what I'm saying is, you have to understand,
I can't believe this.
These people know. They
You
knew
get
what they signed up for.
Everything you say comes from the news.
Hey,
that's
people's main source of information.
Now, who mind does the news? Who mind? Okay, every piece of news we get comes from somebody. Who does the news get their news from? Do we know that? There's somebody that
Feeding
the
it.
news
Somebody
is getting their
feeding it to 'em.
news from.
Mm-hmm. I haven't
You
posted
get their
it.
talking points
Oh,
from.
and they say the same exact thing on all the news stations. I
Yeah.
even posted a video where it showed, they were saying it was like several different news stations.
And when you
and they
file
said
it
the same
down,
exact thing.
and you file it down, and really understand that there's only a few companies, maybe 2 or 3 big companies that own all the news.
It's actually 5.
Well,
Five major.
5 major companies that own all the news outlets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then when you file that down, there's probably just a handful of people that own all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So your news is probably coming from just a few people that sit in a room
Yep.
and dictate
What is
what
being
you
said.
think,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
what
Y'all
how you
be-
feel,
You know, this world will go
what you
into,
see,
this world
the
will go
music
into
you listen
anarchy.
to. Not only that, they set what is popular.
Mm-hmm.
They said they say what kind of music is going to be hot this year.
Oh yeah, we gonna get into that.
They tell you what's the new fashion craze.
Mm-hmm.
They tell you.
Do y'all think y'all so? Listen, this is a
Listen.
question that I got.
You don't
People
have a
think they
free mind.
That's what I'm saying. People think they're so free. If people knew how controlled they were, this world would go into total anarchy.
You have sit back and watch. Use your mind for a minute. Use your mind. Everything you like, you got it from who? Who did you get it from?
Somebody.
Your favorite rapper,
Yeah,
artist,
somebody
actor.
on there.
Now, who pays them? The record companies.
Oh, we're gonna get into
Who
that later.
owns the record companies? Same people that own the media companies. Let's go back to those couple people, handful of people sitting in the room dictating what you're gonna do. Okay? So they make and break everything. They make companies. A company could come out and say, I'm selling this product. We can make you a billionaire overnight. All we gotta do is just set that as the new trend and push and put media behind it. Say this is the new trend. Okay?
But once you get out of that matrix, once you realize that everything in this world is everything inside of it that has any value to it is a part of the matrix, and once you realize that,
You are looked
you
at.
start to see the world a
You
whole
are-
lot different.
The masses are looked at as sheeple,
Sheeples.
right? They're looked at as sheep. So they sell you. They tell you what to do, sell you whatever.
You know what else I said? Because and I just put this post up this morning. I said, since most of the world is brainwashed anyways, and people keep on saying, oh, well, I'm going to vote for Biden because I don't have any other.
The media told me to.
No, they say I'm going to vote for Biden because who else do we have? He's the lesser evil. I know he's horrible. People are actually saying this. I know he's horrible. I know he's this and that, but he's the lesser evil. So if that's all we have between him and Trump, then I'm just going to vote for Biden. You people who are saying this irk my nerves, because I don't know if y'all didn't know, or maybe because the news is not telling you, but it is a third person on the ballot. It is a third person. She's a woman. She's a whole woman. She's a third person on the ballot. So to say you have no choice is utterly ridiculous, because first, you don't have to vote. Okay, it's no law that say you have to vote. Secondly, if you feel like Trump and Biden is the evilest, and you don't want to vote for the evil or the lesser evil, why not vote for the third one?
That just shows how programmed they are.
That's what I'm saying.
Because they feel like they have to vote. I have to. I have to.
There you go. That's a perfect example.
You have to?
Yep.
You have to. You don't have the ability to say no. Okay.
Yep. Because their celebrities is telling them,
that tells
get out
you
and
right
vote.
there.
Get out and vote.
You
get out
are
and vote.
brainwashed.
Mm-hmm. It's no law. Did y'all not know that? I mean, is it people out there that don't know that either? Did you know that you don't have to vote? You don't have to vote. But yeah, I just thought that was mighty funny when I hear people say that, oh, it's only down to those two. It's actually a third person. So if y'all really thought Biden was bad and Trump was bad, you do have a choice. But
yeah,
it's frustrating.
All right, let's get off of this topic.
Okay, so on to the next. We got Dr. Dre and his wife. So we've been, if you follow the show and you listen to other episodes, we've been keeping up with this story because we just think it's so outlandish of everything that's going on. But he did get a victory in his legal battle, in his ongoing divorce proceedings with his estranged wife, Nicole Young. The judge presiding over the split denied the request from Nicole seeking for Dr. Dre to pay her $1.5 million. So if you remember, we ran down the whole list of all her demands, and the judge felt like probably most people that heard about it, it's utterly ridiculous. Yep. So
one time for Dr. Dre.
Yep. The judge also rejected Nicole's request for him to cover the $5 million for her lawyer fees, and for her to get all this extra money for security, which she already had security, but she fired them because she said they were under Dr. Dre's control. Well, the judge said, listen, you can hire your own security, but
why does she need security?
Who you asking? Who are you asking? I don't know why she needs security.
It's like, this is ridiculous. What does she need security for?
I don't know. Maybe she's... Listen, I didn't even know the lady name until all this. I mean, I seen her in pictures with him before. I didn't even know the lady name until all this.
Dr. Dre have aged terribly.
He's like 55.
He looks 65.
She's 50.
Jesus Christ.
They have grown children. But yeah, so he did win that. I don't know if he's gonna have to pay her some type of spousal support, but she ain't getting no $1.5 million a month. That's just, I think she even knew that was just ridiculous. I think she was just trying it.
Wasn't she her own attorney?
Apparently, that's what they said. She was an attorney, but
I thought you said she was representing herself.
No, I think she actually has a team. But it is reports. Well, TMZ says she is an attorney, so I don't know. But $5 million? Who?
For what?
That's what her legal fees are.
Okay.
But yeah, so, you know, I guess that's...
They need to come to a amicable split. Because any money she get...
I think she deserves something.
But any money she get gonna be eating up in lawyer fees.
Yeah, she owe her lawyers $5 million.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, see, that's what you get when you try to be greedy.
Why would you? You could have just had a, hey, all right, I don't want to be with you no more. Just,
unless he came to her and was like, you're not getting nothing.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe. I don't know.
But like, even if he did say you're not getting nothing,
like,
for her to make those type of demands was ridiculous.
I got. He's smarter than that. He knows that she ain't gonna leave with nothing. Now you have to be smart. Like, all right, let's. I'm gonna break you off. I'm gonna give you $30 million. Let's break it off. No lawyers, none of that. Just you go your way, I go my way. $30 million.
$30 million. All right, I'm going.
That would have been a smart
You'll
thing
never
to do.
hear from
This
me
man,
again.
he's almost a billionaire. $30 million, throw it at.
Yeah.
See you later. No more. Like, come on. You ain't got to hear from her no more.
Yeah,
$30 million.
I think it was her.
Now you got to pay.
Greed,
you gonna
her
be paying.
excessive
You gonna
greed.
be paying that in lawyer fees.
Mm-hmm. It was her
See, that
excessive greed.
is terrible, man. That greed.
Come back and bite you in your behind, and then leave you with less.
Just throw a $30 million. $30 million. All right, we ain't got. Just say, hey, we ain't even really got to get divorced. You ain't with me. I ain't with you. You know what I'm saying? Just put $30 million in the account. You know what I'm saying? Just hit me $30 million under the table, so I don't have to pay them taxes, and we good.
Well,
now any money she get hit with taxes. That's half right there. She gonna get hit with the lawyer fees.
Let that be a lesson.
That's another half right there.
Let that be a lesson. Don't let greed fuel.
And at the end of the day, you know what? She probably end up with about 30. If she going for like 100, she going for half. Well, she probably won't get half.
No, I think it'll be something, you know, he have to give
if
over.
If you
but
got that type of
not
money,
what she was asking
I
for.
think it's in everybody's interest to just, come to some kind of,
Yeah, maybe they did. Maybe he tried. Maybe he tried to say, look, this is what I'm going to give you. And she was like, no.
Don't break off 30,
no,
40.
I want.
Even 50.
This is what I feel like I deserve.
You got $1 billion.
And did you know she was actually married to an NBA player
and
before
still
him?
making bread, huh?
Did you know she was actually married to an NBA player before she was married to him?
She's probably the kind of woman that probably been involved with a few.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
gotta have money to be with her.
When you
so it ain't no surprise when she leave out the relationship, she gonna want something. So, I mean, listen. I don't know everything that happened in their marriage.
She got in that, the same way she got into that relationship is the same reason the same thing she gonna want when she leave. What she wanted when she got in it is the same thing she gonna want when she leave.
Yeah. That's crazy when they get with these women and nobody's women get with them, and then they surprised. They're surprised when they want the same thing at the end.
Okay,
ain't nothing changed.
If you go getting these women that been with basketball players, football players, other actors, rappers, you know what they dating, you know what they want. Mm-hmm. They want a certain type of man, and it ain't the way they look. It's not their personality.
Nope.
It's what they got in their pockets.
And who's willing to give.
It's all about what that's what attracts them. That's what
it ain't just what's in their pockets. Whoever's willing to give the most. That's the important thing, because some of them people ain't dumb and they ain't finna give them nothing. It's the ones who willing to give them something.
But that's what they are attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
those type of women, they're only attracted to the green.
That's why you have a lot of them women who be trapping them men, getting them pregnant, because they know that's their meal ticket. Once you pregnant, that's your meal ticket.
That's part of the game right there.
Yeah.
That's part of the
big.
game. There's two parts of the game: getting pregnant and getting divorced. That's a major play.
That's when your big payday gonna come out.
The two plays they gonna play. They gonna put into play.
Look at Future
Getting
baby
pregnant
mama.
and then getting divorced.
Look at Future baby mama. She was asking
Two things
for,
they're gonna be looking forward to.
She was asking for all this money, like a lot of money a month for child support. I'm like, dang, like. What child? I mean, listen, I understand kids need to be taken care of.
They are really,
but I think she was asking for like $55,000 a month.
They are really soulless women.
$55,000 a month? What do your child need for $55,000 a month?
That child is a check to them.
It is. That's why I said it's their meal ticket. That's their meal ticket. If you can get pregnant by a rapper, an athlete, that's your meal ticket.
These women are soulless.
Yep.
They're so
crazy. Crazy. So I don't understand why these rappers and stuff and these athletes run around having unprotected sex with these women that they know.
They get fake booties, fake breasts, fake faces, bleached skin.
The whole works.
They're fake on the outside and nothing on the inside. Nothing. They're hollow.
But that's what they like. Inside. You know, I seen a post and it said something about how did it go? They
have no heart, no brain. They just see green. They only got one goal, was money.
I seen a post on Facebook and it said something like, you know, most men, they want a certain standard of woman, but it was like basically what it was saying is they are looking for these qualities in women that look like what you just said, but they'll pass up the ones who really have those qualities for, you know, the women that don't look like that, you know, your regular woman.
Because that's
crazy. But y'all want these qualities, but you're looking in women who
they don't want those qualities. They want. They
could have
want.
fooled me. They always talk about they need a woman this and they need a woman to be that.
That's not true. They're not looking for that. They're not looking for that. They're looking for arm candy. Because the same reason they go buy diamond chains, the same reason they have Gucci, Dior, Versace, is the same reason they want the girl with the fake boobs, fake butt, light eyes, and a bleached skin.
Do normal women exist anymore?
That's the same reason.
Yes,
for
they
show.
do.
For show. Because if you hitting the baddest,
but it's sad that they get overlooked for these I don't know what you want. I don't want to offend nobody because, you know, if you want to get your body done, get your body done. I ain't against it because I'm getting mine done. But all I'm saying is it's sad that the women who, you know, choose to be natural, they get looked over a lot for these women who aren't natural. I don't know.
Stop looking for these.
Hey, whatever possible. If that
women, if you have all that, why would you want a rapper?
That's true too. That's very true. Because trust me,
you do not want them anyway.
Those young rappers,
they're not offering nothing but an STD probably.
Yeah, they're not looking for love when they meet these rappers. They're looking for some clout to get them on, so they can make their own money, or they're just looking for a free ride from them, or, you know, whatever it is. But yeah, it's crazy. But moving on. So before we get into our main topic, I did want to just bring up a video that I recently seen on Facebook, and it was a video of the video started out with the mother yelling at the little girl, like she was yelling, and I'm like, it's kind of confusing because I'm like, what is she yelling like that for? But I hear her, she was like, you're too young to be doing that. the video took a turn when she got out the car. Now she's on live video, and live. Listen, that's a whole nother subject. But anyways, she got out the car and went to the back seat and started repeatedly punching the little girl. And I guess that was her way of trying to punish her, humiliate her publicly. And we've seen lots of videos where these parents are publicly humiliating their children on live videos. But I was like, well, what did the little girl do? So at the end of the video, I guess the mother showed what the little girl was doing. So the little girl was taking pictures or taking videos of her butt.
No, just think of your
and she looks no more than like 7 or 8.
Everything, the Instagram, your nasty Instagram model doing.
This little girl was doing.
Yeah.
She had her legs spread wide open. She was doing all these little poses and stuff, taking pictures. And then the last part of it, I don't know what she was doing. I don't know if she was twerking or she was mimicking some type of sexual act. I don't quite know what she was doing, but so I guess her mother found out she was doing all this stuff and posting it on the internet, and that caused her to in turn publicly humiliate her and beat her on camera. So I did want to talk about that because listen, it's so many sides of this story, but I want to be brief on it.
First of all, that is a very, very disturbing video.
And it's mixed emotions.
On both sides.
It's mixing. People have mixed emotions about this too.
I wish I didn't see that video, but you sent it to me.
Yeah, because I didn't even know.
Messages.
And when you look at the video, you don't even know what's going on until the actual end of the video.
Why is she beating that girl?
That's what I said.
That?
You don't even know what's going on.
Beating her in the face. But the second part, I was like, okay, she got a point. But then, I'm like, this is.
I'm not against the mother getting on her behind about it. What I'm against
is her doing it on live.
On camera. Listen, first of all, you have to understand.
Have we seen people get? I mean,
you're incriminating yourself. Okay. That's one, because all CPS, they get a copy of that. They're going to see that. Now you're going to have a whole investigation open on you for child abuse, because that looks exactly like what you were doing. You look like you were abusing her because you were punching the little girl
in her face, in
her face and her chest and everything. I don't agree with that type of discipline. I don't agree with punching nobody in their face. Now that your face is your identity. So when you hit somebody in their face,
the things that she were doing.
Listen, I didn't say she shouldn't have got.
Get through.
I didn't say she shouldn't have got a whooping.
I mean, nah.
I didn't say that. But punching somebody in their face, I will never punch my children in the face. Never, because that's your identity.
We're gonna have to think that.
No, I'm a parent. I'm a parent, and that's how I choose to parent. Now, if you choose to punch your children in the face, that's what you do. But don't put it on live, broadcast where everybody is seeing it. You're incriminating yourself.
I'm not for beating kids.
Oh, I am. But they need it sometimes. But I'm not going to humiliate my child like that.
Nah, don't do it on live. But the things that she was caught doing.
But then you have to ask, where did she get that from?
Okay, the things that could have happened to this child.
Yeah.
You gotta ask, what? Why does a child that young? What she look like? About 5, 6?
No, she probably like 7 or 8.
Okay,
maybe.
Okay.
Give or take.
Now, why does a 6-year-old have access to a phone with a camera on it?
Kids younger than that have access to
why?
phones.
Why are we giving children?
And then they wonder why.
And then you are making the people that does the dirtiest stuff their idols, and they're not going to do it. You see, okay, I see them. I see the person that the song I like doing it, so I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna try and
That's
emulate
what I'm
it.
saying. Y'all,
I see Cardi B doing that on her
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, so I'm not going to emulate it doing it.
and then you know what kills me is these people who come out and say, "Well, it's the parents' responsibility to make sure." Listen, anybody who is a parent, knows you cannot watch your children 24/7. These kids go to school. They have friends. Okay, so when they go to school, you think kids ain't at school ain't got phones and they're watching this stuff on their phones? When they go to their friend's house or they're hanging around their friends, you think their friends ain't singing these songs and doing all this and that? You cannot monitor your kids 24/7. So the responsibility can't just lie on the parents. You cannot take that away from these artists who are actually putting this stuff out and say, "Oh, it's not their problem." It is their problem. They're putting it out. They're putting it out there.
Okay, that. I mean, if you have a number one song, and you think if you don't think little children are part of the people that's listening to your music,
They hear it
are
on the
you
radio.
insane?
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. I literally turned on on the radio.
This song ain't for little kids. So, but your
Blast it
album,
all, yeah.
your song wouldn't be number one.
Who
This
do you
song-
think? Who do you think is
it's like-
buying this stuff?
it's
Who do you
like-
think is making it number
It's
one?
like, yeah, who you think is?
It ain't the old folks.
As them saying that, oh, my song is not. That's not for little children. Who you think is buying what you saying?
Yep.
Your song, you want your song to go to number one. Who you think is listening to your song and making your song go number one? It's some children in their house on their phone replaying your song over and over and over
And you
again.
parents letting these kids that young have access to this phone. This girl probably can go on Instagram, YouTube, anywhere, and easily pull up this type of stuff. So you listen,
And
the little girl wasn't born knowing how to do all
we
that.
spoke about
She
this.
had to get it from
We
somewhere.
spoke about this on another episode about kids being alone with phones and having the whole web, the whole world open up to them.
Yep.
They're behind a closed door in their room
Yep.
and have access to everything.
Yep.
Pornography,
Yep.
whatever's on that net, they have.
Whatever is on the
So
internet.
your child is being made. You're letting the internet make your child into something that you probably wouldn't even recognize.
And let's even break it
Whatever
down.
they choose to get into on that, whatever they put into their phone,
But let's just
whatever
break it down. Let's
whatever
just
rabbit
say they
hole
don't
they
have a
choose
phone.
to go down, that's the path they're going down.
But let's just say let's just say for the sake of an argument, they don't have a phone. They still go to school. They still have friends. That's what I'm saying. Like you cannot monitor your children 24/7. You can, it's a lot you can do to monitor your kids, but you can't monitor them 24/7.
Let's start with little children shouldn't have phones. What do they have a phone for?
I agree. I don't even like my kids having a phone, and they're older, and I don't even like them having phones.
What do a 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old need with a phone?
My 9-year-old got a phone,
What does he need a phone for?
but he only uses his phone when he's at home. He can't even.
Listen, this world is
Oh, and trust me,
totally.
his stuff is linked to mine.
These children are
His-
going
but
to
his
be
stuff-
old before their time.
Yeah.
They're going to know things before.
If you make the choice to let your children have a phone, it is certain things you have
That's
to
why
do.
they stand up and talk to you like they're adults in
my
your
kid,
face.
my son,
Because
his
they
stuff
on the
is,
internet. They on the internet getting all this information.
but his stuff is
making
linked
them
to
think
mine.
they know more than you.
His stuff is linked to mine, so I know exactly what he watches and everything else. So I can go in and see everything he watches and sees. So I have his stuff linked to mine. My daughter, no, I don't have her stuff linked to mine, but I talk to her, and that's basically all you can do once they get to that age.
Listen,
you could talk to them,
Cell phones. I may be dating myself, but cell phones didn't come around. Well, they was around, But
Cell
at
phones
the
used to
point-
only be for people with money, like rich people.
yeah,
That
but
it
when
wasn't
cell
a,
phones really
everybody
got
one.
like every kind of like when I first got my hands on a full time having a cell phone, I was probably 18 years old.
Oh yeah, I was grown too, for sure.
You know, I
For
had
sure.
when I had first like I had a cell phone when I was like maybe 16,
I did not have my first cell
17,
phone when I was
16,
18.
but it kept going off. It was like one of them prepaid ones,
I had a pager.
them prepaid ones.
I
But-
probably just told my age too. I had a pager, but that I didn't have a cell phone. I didn't have a cell phone until I was 18. Till I actually, because my mother
Because
wasn't
cell phones,
buying no cell phone.
phones wasn't around like that.
Yeah, it was around, but my mother wasn't finna buy me
I
one.
mean, them cell phones, when we was growing up, only celebrities and rich
Yeah.
people had cell phones, and those cell phones was like $5,000.
You know what's funny? We were listening to Tupac, and in his song, he said they get jealous when they see you with your mobile phone. And my daughter, she was like, "What? Why would somebody be jealous of somebody with a mobile phone?" I had to explain to her because back
Because
then,
it was called mobile phones.
yeah, back
because
then,
that
you,
was
if you had a phone,
let's say
you
check the word.
people thought you had money.
They was originally called mobile phones because why? They would be mobile.
Mm-hmm.
They was with you on the go.
Yeah,
Now, why are these phones called cell phones? Cell phones.
I think
Break
because
the
keep
word
your
down.
mind in the cell, like
Yes.
a jail cell.
Because you're like this.
Yeah, it really keeps your mind in the cell.
And another word, cell. Your cells in your
And
body.
your cells in
When
your
you
body.
Keep, you
It
keep
disrupt
that phone,
them
it
too. Mm-hmm.
disrupt the cells in your body with the radiation. It
Yep.
messes with your frequency.
That is something. I never even thought about how the word changed
Cell phone.
from mobile phone to cell phone. Yeah. The rabbit hole goes deep, man. You just listen. The point where
Because
we're
they changed the word when they decided to put it on a mass scale for everyone to have it. See, when things go to a mass scale for everyone, it's because when they find out they can carry an agenda out through that device. Cell phones were basically, well, like I was saying, cell phones was basically for rich people. It was called mobile phones because it was not a house phone. You could take it with you wherever you go. Like, you know, you didn't have internet, you didn't have none of that. You just could take calls on the go.
Mm-hmm.
But when they decided to use that as an agenda,
you know, if
you
you
see
if
anything
you
that's when
caught
used down
somewhere,
for agenda,
if-
because the price go down on the stuff. It gets affordable.
I still try to remember numbers. I don't try to depend on my phone because if you get caught somewhere and your phone die or you can't, your
Yeah,
phone,
I'm in trouble.
a lot of people will be in trouble. Back in the day, I can still remember. My grandmother. I still remember her phone number to this day. I'll never forget her phone number. I don't know why, but I'll never forget her phone number. I can remember it to
Was
to
it
this day.
747
737.
365?
No, that's my number now.
747
What am I talking about?
It was 747 3465.
It was.
Yeah.
I remember a different one. Well, anyways, you don't do that. People don't do that no more because all your contacts are in your phone. You put it in there.
That one I did recognize because when I got
it was 747-6505.
no 365.
I think it was 6505.
No, it wasn't. I remember that because I used to go to the store and she had that discount. I would give her a number.
If any of our family
360.
members is in this, listening to this, if you remember her phone number, because she had the same phone number for years, if you can remember that, put that in the
I know
comments.
that's the number. I would say.
For some reason, I got 6505. I don't know where that's
because
coming from.
I used to go to Winn-Dixie
Oh,
and I used to
yeah.
get the discounts. I used to give her.
Why was you using my grandmother's? Yeah, but those days is long gone. Like if you out, you better hope you can remember. You get locked up, go to jail. Who you gonna call? Because people don't even remember numbers no more. Yeah, cell phones have totally.
You can't call that number no more. I just said the number on.
Huh?
I just said the number on, but you can't call that number.
That was a landline. Who has landlines?
Yeah, that number's
Listen,
dead.
if you call that number,
somebody
might pick it up, but we don't know who they are. But nah, though, I mean, those days are long gone of remembering numbers and all that. But
house phones are long gone.
Yeah, well, there's still some people with house phones, but not very many.
Do you know there was a time that people didn't have phones? These kids these days.
Of course,
I'm talking about.
There was a time before people even had house phones.
No, well, back in the day, before cell phones, but there was house phones.
Yeah,
people would be getting their house phone cut off. Like we did.
The same people that get their cell phones.
We got our house phone cut off, and we be in the house with no phone.
And you used to think that was horrible.
We survived.
No, I used to think that was horrible when I couldn't call my friends. Well, when you're a teenager and you're calling your friends, that's your only means of communication. Only people used to call really was
people from jail. And they try to get those words before you say no. You don't want to collect. You don't want to accept the call. Tell mama send me some money for it. Oh, you have a collect call from. Tell mama send me some money for it.
Gosh, that's crazy. But it's true. It's so true. Y'all don't know. It's true.
This is AT&T.
Trying to get them messages.
You have a collect call from a correctional institute. Correctional institution. I need some soap. Somebody give me some.
Oh my god, that's crazy. That is crazy. Oh my goodness. But yeah, bottom line is watch what your kids doing on. Don't let them have.
Y'all know you can y'all know you can take my call.
Then somebody say I'm gonna kill you with
somebody said
make it threatening.
You have a collect call from a correctional institution. Y'all know you collect my call. Y'all can take my call.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. But now see, even that's changed because they got cell phones in there.
Yeah,
where they can call you straight. They don't have to do all that no more. So
they be on Instagram from prison and all.
Crazy times. Times have definitely changed. I don't know but with technology there has been some positive things, but it's been some real negative ones, and we see that with situations like this. So all I gotta say on that matter is discipline your child. If you feel like you have to discipline your child, please don't do it on live. That's just, you're humiliating that child. She has to go to school. She's going to be tormented by her classmates. I seen you on the Facebook and Instagram getting you punched in the face.
Yeah, she's going to be that. That's never good.
Yeah, that's too far. I'm not. If I feel like I have to discipline my kids, I don't need the world to see me discipline my kids. That's just. It made me think: is you wanting attention for yourself?
Half of that is
you want attention for yourself. Yeah. That's what I think it is. It ain't about you disciplining your child. Because what would make my first reaction if I caught my child doing that? My first reaction will not be to pull out my cell phone and start recording me, yelling at her and beating her. Like that's not my first thought. Like I don't know. People have such whacked out minds, but. Like I said, mama, you got to take some responsibility for that. You beat that little girl.
Strange times.
You beat that little girl. Yes, you got to teach her, and yes, you have to discipline her. But you have to ask yourself, where did she learn that from? Mama, where did she learn that from? Okay, so that's all I'm saying.
She learned it from Cardi B and
Yep, and then
Megan Thee
you
Stallion.
put some of the responsibility on these artists and stop letting them get away scot free. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
All right, so moving on to our last subject. So now we've talked about this, you know, in previous episodes. We touched on it, you know, a little here and a little there, about things that's going on in the industry, the music industry. And it's been a lot of people who have come out recently. Jaguar Wright, she's basically come out and she's been doing a lot of exposing of a lot of things that's been going on in the music industry. But the stuff that she's saying has been going on for years, and people have been saying this stuff for years. The things that is going on. So right now we're going to go a little bit deeper into the rabbit hole, and we're going to give you a little bit more insight on exactly what is going on inside the music. It's a lot, and it would literally take us hours to sit here and talk about this topic because it's so much. So we're just gonna give y'all a couple things that has been said, and this is coming from the horse's mouth. These are people in the industry. These are artists. These are people who are actually in this lifestyle, who are exposing these things, and even some of these artists are saying these things about themselves out their own mouths. So I know a lot of people out there, they don't want to believe what people say. They call it conspiracies, they call it this and that, but this is stuff coming from people in the industry. So the first thing we want to talk about is, if I'm sure everybody know who Crazy Bone is, but if you don't know, he was a part of the group Bone Thugs and Harmony. He had a podcast, and you said
he still is.
Oh, he's still in the group. Okay, well, he's a part of the group Bone Thugs and Harmony. You say he don't have his podcast no more, right?
Well, he hasn't. They just haven't been doing any new episodes lately.
Okay, well, he has this podcast called The Truth Talk, and you can go check it out. He goes into more detail about a lot of stuff that's going on in the industry. But on one of the shows, he was talking about this particular letter that was sent to. Who was it sent to? You know more about the letter. I don't know verbatim. I listened to the whole video.
It was sent. It's a letter that was wrote by it was a music insider. He wrote it. Came out a few years ago. It's about a secret meeting that changed the face of rap music.
And he said this is, wait, let me interrupt you. He said this is this letter was written by somebody like who calls the shots at the record company. So this is not some like little intern. This is one of the big guys that call the shots, who make the decisions.
Was.
Well, yeah, was. Go ahead. You want to play the video?
And the title of the letter is The Secret Meeting That Changed Rap Music and Destroyed a Generation. Damn. So it says, hello. After more than 20 years, I finally decided to tell the world what I witnessed in 1991, which I believe was one of the biggest turning points in popular music and ultimately American society. I have struggled for a long time weighing the pros and cons of making my story public, as I was reluctant to implicate the individuals who were present that day. So I've simply decided to leave out the names and all the details that may risk my personal well-being and that of those who were, like me, dragged into something they weren't ready for. Damn. Hold on, let me
So we gonna tell the story.
We gonna tell the story. We ain't scared.
You know what I'm saying? What they gonna do?
They after us, not playing.
Look, Black Van.
So look. So he says, between the late 80s and early 90s, I was what you may call a decision maker with one of the more established companies in the music industry. I came to Europe in the early 80s and quickly established myself in the business. The industry was...
Quick point. Recognize that he said, the guy said he came from Europe. Now, a lot of these music big execs, that's where they come from, because the people that own these companies, like Universal, it's never the people you see. It's never the people you see that's actually running the company. They get their orders from people that live over in another country you'll never see. They just take dictation from those people. And most of the time, those people that you see are the family members of the people that really owns the label. They are placed in that position. That's why you see these big execs that are white, that's in a black culture, and they've been strategically placed over black music.
It was different back then, since technology and media weren't accessible to people like that, like they are today. The industry had more control over the public and had the means to influence them any way it wanted.
Right.
This may explain why in early 1991, I was invited to attend a closed-door meeting with a small group of business insiders to discuss rap music's new direction. Rap music's new direction.
Yeah.
Little did I know we would be asked to participate in one of the most unethical and destructive business practices ever seen.
Crazy.
So this was the meeting. The meeting was held at a private residence on the outskirts of Los Angeles. I remember about 25 to 30 people were being there.
Right.
Most of them familiar faces. Speaking of those I knew, we joked about the theme of the meeting, as many of us did not care for rap and failed to see the purpose of being invited to a private meeting to discuss the future of hip-hop.
Talk to him.
Among the attendees was a small group of unfamiliar faces who stayed to themselves and made no attempt to socialize beyond their circle. Based on their behavior and formal appearances, they didn't seem to be from our industry. Our casual chatter was interrupted when we were asked to sign a confidentiality agreement preventing us from publicly discussing the information presented during the meeting. Needless to say, this intrigued, in some cases, disturbed many of us. The agreement was only a page long, but very clear on matters and consequences, which stated that violating the terms would result in job termination immediately. We asked several people what this meeting was about and the reason for such secrecy, but could not find anyone who had the answers for us. A few people refused to sign and walked out. Nobody stopped them. I was tempted to follow, but curiosity got the best of me.
That's right.
A man who was part of the unfamiliar group collected all the agreements from us. So now it's going to get to the good part because the meeting about to start.
Talk to him, G.
It says, quickly after the meeting began, hold on one second.
Get your popcorn, y'all.
Popcorn, get your pistols, no sweat.
Real enough.
Quickly after this meeting began, one of the industry colleagues, who shall remain nameless like everybody else, thanked us for attending. He then gave the floor to a man who only introduced himself by first name and gave no other details about his personal background. I think he was the owner of the residence, but that was never confirmed. He briefly praised all of us for the success we had achieved in our industries and congratulated us for being selected as part of this small group of decision makers. At this point, I began to feel slightly uncomfortable in the strangeness of this gathering. The subject quickly changed as the speaker went on to tell us that the respective companies we represented had invested in a very profitable industry which could become even more rewarding with our active involvement.
Damn.
He explained that the companies we worked for had invested millions into the building of privately owned prisons, and that our positions of influence in the music industry would actually impact the profitability of these investments. Then he says, I remember many of us in the group immediately looking at each other in awe and confusion. At the same time, I didn't know what a private prison was, but I wasn't the only one. Sure enough, someone asked what these prisons were and what any of this had to do with music. We were told that these prisons were built by privately owned companies who received funding from the government based on the number of inmates.
Mm-hmm.
The more inmates, the more the government would pay these prisons.
Mm-hmm.
It was also made clear to us that since these prisons are privately owned, as they become publicly traded, we'd be able to buy shares. Most of us were taken back by this. Again, a couple of people asked what this had to do with us. At this point, my industry colleague who had first opened the meeting took the floor again and answered our questions. He told us that since our employees had become silent investors in this prison business, it was now in their interest to make sure that these prisons remain filled. Our job would be to help make this happen by making music which promote criminal behavior, rap being the music of choice. He assured us that this would be a great situation for us because rap music was becoming an increasingly profitable market for our companies, and as employees, we also be able to buy stocks in these prisons. Immediately, silence came over the room. You could have heard a pin drop. I remember looking around to make sure I wasn't dreaming and saw half of the people with dropped jaws. My daze was interrupted when someone shouted, "Is this a fucking joke?" At this point, things became chaotic.
Right.
Two of the men who were part of the unfamiliar group grabbed the man who shouted and attempted to remove him from the house. A few of us, myself included, tried to intervene. One of them pulled out a gun, and we all backed off. They separated us from the crowd, and all four of us was escorted outside. My industry colleague, who opened up the meeting earlier, hurried out to meet us and reminded us that we had signed an agreement and would suffer the consequences of speaking out about this publicly, or even those who attended the meeting.
Damn.
I asked him, why was he involved with something so corrupt? And he replied, it's bigger than the music business and nothing we can do. And no, it's bigger than the music business and nothing we want to challenge without risking consequences. We all protested as we walked back into the house. I remember word for word the last thing he said. It's out of my hands now. Just remember you signed an agreement. He then closed the door behind him. The men rushed us to our car and actually waited until we drove off the property.
Damn.
So this meeting, bro.
Now that's a lot for a meeting right there.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, and this person later on, he said, you know, this person actually ended up leaving the music industry after this happened. Well, a few years after this, he ended up.
So
let me just give a quick fact. The prison system, private, okay, we're not talking about state prisons and state jails. We're talking about private, prisons. It is a $1.7 billion industry, $1.7 billion. And in order for them to receive funds, they have to remain at a 90% capacity.
yeah, they get paid
90%. So they're being paid to fill these prisons up.
by the government.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, they have the prisons in there, and they get paid by big corporations to produce products, basically free labor.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they talked about that in the video too. So if you want to hear the whole video, you can go to their podcast and hear it. But they talked about that. They were like how all these factories are gone now. He was like, if you look out into those, states where a lot of factories were, like Arkansas and Ohio and stuff, a lot of those factories were closed down because they moved that stuff into the prison. So he was saying, like, the stroller that you're pushing for your baby, it was made in the prison. The toys that you buy for your children was made in a prison. It's not just like it used to be where they used to make, license plates. No, they ain't license plates no more. They're making products for companies, big name companies, and they're getting free labor.
They're making lingerie. They're making clothes.
Everything. Yep.
I mean,
they're making everything. Yep. But
basically,
it's crazy.
They changed the way rap music was going, because at that time it was a lot of conscious rap out. If you can remember that song Self-Destruction, you're headed for self-destruction, well, all the big rappers of that time got on the same one song, and it was like a public service announcement to the black community, telling them that they be really going into self-destruction by the things that they're doing. But pushing a message like that, they went from pushing a message like that to conscious rap, from conscious rap to then that meeting was really the meeting that birthed gangster rap.
But he did say something crazy. Said that they didn't glorify it. He said they were just telling their story. He said the rappers who were making the raps, they, of course, you give them, that's what the whole plan. You give them the money, you give them the jewelry, you give them the women. They're going to do whatever you tell them to do. But he said they were just telling their story. He said it was the media and the record companies that glorified it.
No, there was the first gangster rap group that appeared on the scene was basically NWA. That really put that real destruction of the black community into the music, and was paid handsomely for.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They give them the money. They give them the money. They give them the jewelry and everything else that come with it, and they'll do whatever they tell them to do.
And more likely, if you like, they say the guys was unknown, but all you gotta do is probably look at the people that had a hand in NWA. Because if you do the timeline, right before, what was rap before NWA? It was all conscious rap.
Unity.
But NWA came in and really changed the whole scene of rap music.
I mean, you gotta look at the diabolical plan they had here. Promote this lifestyle. You
have to really look at what the NWA promote. They promoted
a violence,
gangster,
drugs.
Now, if you look at that gangster, that song Gangsta, when Ice Cube was talking about on that song, I mean, to go from a song like Self-Destruction to that, I mean, and then you got the song like Dope Man. They promoting that, really like promoting being a dope man. If you listen to the lyrics, I mean, this is like,
they really, see what Crazy was saying in the video. He said that they exploit our culture and they make all the money off of it.
But here's what the thing is, not only did they exploit it, they push. The real gist of it was that why they went from conscious rap to rap music is because they pushed that criminal mentality in the heads of the youth to make them commit
Young
crimes
minorities.
so they can keep those prisons full.
Yep. He said their plan was to go beyond the artist to get the artist to influence and lure in the consumer, which they knew were mainly minorities.
Yeah.
And to keep promoting gangster rap so that these young people that are listening
go
to
to
them,
prison.
in turn, they will act like them. And it's a very good chance if you're acting like what they're saying in the lyrics, where you gonna end up?
Now,
You're gonna end up in two places,
keep it
either in
real.
prison or dead. It's a win-win for them. Either way.
Everything NWA gangster rap push is criminal behavior. Dope man, gangster.
How could you possibly ensure that your prisons are going to stay at a 90% capacity? You have to have some master plan. You have to have something in the works
it
where
was
you know
pushed-
them prisons
it
are going
had
to be filled.
pushed because every song that every song is a pushing a criminal mentality or some kind of what is the word I'm looking for? A delinquent mentality. For sure, NWA was the prototype. They used NWA for that because they was pretty much the first ones that come out with, I think it was the first group to start gangster rap. And then you had on and on from there. You had it was really Eazy-E, the whole tree of Eazy-E. You had Death Row, you had Dr. Dre created Aftermath, and on and on.
What I thought was interesting, what he said is, he was talking, and it didn't even dawn on me until he said it, and I'm like, that is true. That is really true. He was saying how, he was like, why do you think these new artists pop up? You never heard of them, never heard none of their music, but you hear a song, their first song, and you may go to their Instagram or wherever they, Facebook, and they got millions of followers, and they got all these diamonds and all this stuff. Why? How do you get that when nobody really ever even heard of you? How do you get that? So he went into explanation about how we have to remember that the powers that be, they control everything. They control every avenue. So they could take anything and flip it. I just
said that.
Well, yeah, but okay, that's what I'm saying. They
at
can,
will.
Yeah, they can flip any scenario to however the way they want to flip it. So if they want this particular person to look like,
listen, if they want to make you, they'll make you. Mm-hmm. Because they control the narrative. They control the minds of the people. And if they want to break you, they will break you.
Yeah, he said they can manufacture any celebrity however way they want to.
Of course.
And he said, and then it's not even about, because you got so much talent. It ain't even about that. He said they're good influencers. He said the people that they handpick these people. They handpick these people, and most times it's people that come from nothing, who come from broken homes with no father.
Or that's the story that that's the story that they'll put behind them.
Well, this is what he said. He's in the industry, so he knows. We all know that
they make stories up.
And,
how many rappers then most of the rappers have holes all in their story.
They probably do, but I
They
think
probably do.
well, I'm not gonna say every
Okay.
single one of them lie about where they came from and how they grew up.
Most of them is totally exaggerated. Totally.
Well, he's
exaggerated.
in the industry. I can only
If
talk.
these rappers
I'm
were
believe
selling
somebody in the
kilos
industry
like they was doing, if they say they
He
were,
didn't
and they
come
was
from,
the,
but he didn't
they
come
was-
from a
they was
little.
dog- they
he didn't
was-
come from a little nobody group. He
They
came from
was-
a group, a big group. So I believe he got more insight
they were
into
near
the industry than
the way
than
these
the
rappers
common.
talk about. They was almost Pablo Escobar.
Well, it had to be in their whoever the powers that be it had to be in their best interest to make them do that. Then
Come on, we seen the games they play with Vanilla.
But anyways,
when
he said
Vanilla
they-
Ice came out,
he said they are
and
great
they
influencers,
totally,
and I believe that.
they totally sat in a room and created this man's whole bio, and it was totally a lie, and people went for him. And after 10 million records were sold, oh, okay, we find out it wasn't true. The money's been made already. So what if you find out it was a lie?
So here's another little fact, to bring this all together. Sony, Time Warner, and Universal have the biggest or the largest share in the private prison system. So just ponder on that.
What did you say? Universal,
Sony, Time Warner, and Universal have the biggest
Okay,
share
now let's
in the prison
break
in the
down
private prison
Sony.
system.
Sony, that's all of music. Universal, that's
Yeah, Time
Universal
Warner,
is
those
all.
are like the three main.
That's all of music.
Oh yeah, that's what he said. He said the other guy. I don't know who the other guy is. What his name
Think
is.
of all those companies.
He said they go they
Yeah.
underwrite under different names.
Yeah,
But it's all the same company.
Yeah,
They
they're
just
all the same.
have
Didn't I
they
just
just
tell you that?
underwrite under different names. That's how they fool you to make you think, oh, it's a lot of companies,
No.
it's a lot of record labels. No, they just get underwritten under different names, but it still belongs to those big top ones. It still belongs to them, and that's the same thing with the media too. You have different news stations and channels
Universal
still
owns
under that
all
same
of that.
thing. Yep.
It
It's
tells
crazy.
you right there. What does Universal mean?
It's crazy. It's crazy what they did to the black community, and Crazy said we lost it. We gave it away. He said everything that we create, we seem to give it away. And did we just talk about that?
Yep.
We talked about how the verses.
The verses.
Yep, we just talked about that. How everything we create,
don't
we seem
need-
to give it away to them so they could profit off of it for
Here-
years and years and years to come. And
you
you're
wanna-
left
you
with
wanna
nothing.
hear a big secret?
Crazy.
You want to hear a secret? You want to hear a secret? Here's a secret. All right. They can't create anything.
They can't.
They can't create anything. They have to use you. 'Cause why? Why? Because you are the original. They can only copy. They can't create nothing. Nothing. They're great thieves, great manipulators, all that, but originators, nah. To be an originator, you have to be the original.
Yep. But I think everybody should go and listen to that whole thing because he goes way deeper into it. He breaks a lot of stuff down. Like I said, he's still in the industry, but he said he don't that's not what he's not on that agenda no more.
But why do you think all forms of music came from us? You can break it down a million ways. All forms of music come from African music.
Man, these are some diabolical, evil
Latin
plans.
music. Even Latin music.
This is crazy.
All forms of music come from the original people, anyways.
And can you
Jazz,
really blame?
rock and roll,
Crazy.
even classical. Here's another big secret. Did you know Beethoven was a black man? Did you know that?
I've heard it. I haven't seen any proof, but I've heard it.
Yeah.
I never see Beethoven. I don't know Beethoven, so I can't say if it's 100% fact, but I've heard that he was a black man. But you know, they whitewash
Listen,
history.
they have pictures of the original everything.
Yeah,
You don't think they have those
Listen,
pictures?
whitewashing history is what they do. That's their
What
forte.
what you call whitewash was called the Renaissance period. Okay,
Call it what you want. It's
No,
whitewashing.
that was
Whitewashing
what,
just
that's
means
what they call it.
okay, but whitewashing means they basically have taken people who were important people and whitewashed them, made them white, took the color from them.
That's what the Renaissance period is called.
Well, it's not. That's not what people call it, and nobody calls it. They call it whitewashing history. That's a known. We're not even gonna get on that because, like I said, he already.
That is called the Renaissance.
That was a period. That was a period in time. They've been doing it since Jesus. They've whitewashed history from the beginning of time.
Well,
That was just
if
like
you
you're talking
call
about
it
Renaissance.
whitewashing, you're not going to
How
find
could
that
you
in the
call
history
one-
book.
Okay.
You're not going to find whitewash in a history book. Now, if you really want to do research,
only one
you
period of
research the
time.
Renaissance period.
So you're saying they only whitewashed the Renaissance period?
that but when the
That was
Renaissance
only
period,
one period in time.
all art was black. Those were the original depictions of the people.
We're not. I'm
When
not
the
talking
Renaissance
about-
period came,
When you hear the term whitewash history-
they redid those pictures, but put a white
Somebody
face
please
on it.
get in the comments and explain what whitewashing means, because that's what he's talking about is a period in history. One period in history. We're not in the Renaissance now, but there's still at some point in time, if we get to that point,
Well, if you wanna call
they're gonna
it
whitewash
whitewashed,
it. That's what it's called.
But that's called Renaissance.
Okay.
What does Renaissance mean?
Okay.
A new beginning.
Okay. Whatever
Getting
you
rid
wanna
of the
call it.
old with a new beginning. The new beginning says, what there says is, oh, those original pictures. No, they can't. That's not here. We can't have that here. We have to redo all the pictures in our image.
Okay, well, I mean, you can call it what you want, but I've never heard of it called Renaissance. I mean, I've heard of the Renaissance period.
So
but
what did they do in the Renaissance period?
you know so much about it? You tell them.
No, you said
No.
it was. You said.
You tell
I just
them.
told them.
Okay, then if you told them, why you need me to tell them?
Because you obviously don't know.
Okay, the Renaissance is the revival of art and literature under the influence of classical models in the 14th through 16th century. The culture and the style of art and architecture developed during the
Keyword
Renaissance.
culture.
A revival or a renewed interest in something. These are all different meanings of it. Again, it was a period in time between the 14th and 16th century. What about before
So
that?
what-
They
what you
whitewashed
call-
that whole time.
What are you talking about? Before that, they didn't they didn't whitewash. And there was no need to. All the pictures was the original pictures.
First of all, there is no original picture of Jesus. So what are you talking about? Nobody has no original picture of Jesus.
they did. Okay,
Who?
you don't think
Where?
they got rid of them?
Okay. And
So you
know
don't
this how?
you don't think out of all the people Jesus was going around, nobody painted a picture of him.
So you know this for a fact. They had a picture of Jesus.
They have the original pictures of him.
Okay, maybe they do. I'm not gonna doubt it, but that wasn't called no Renaissance.
They have the original pictures of Jesus and the disciples, and none of them look like these people. So who was back? Who took it upon themselves for around 2,000 years ago to depict Jesus as a black man and with a afro.
It happened way before the Renaissance period.
It would have to.
Anyways, like I said, they whitewash history, and they'll continue to do it because once everybody alive today is gone, Beyonce probably will be a white woman. Who knows?
When they feel need to do. Listen,
Michael Jackson would have
before that time,
been
before
a white
the
man.
Renaissance, they wasn't whitewashing nothing. That was the beginning of you so-called whitewashing in the Renaissance period.
So are you saying that they were actually saying that Jesus was black up into the 14th century?
Yes, they were. They knew that. Up into the 14th, after the 14th century, they had no reason not to. It comes with an agenda.
Okay, I'm finna check this.
Go ahead.
I'm finna check this because the picture that we see of Jesus, when was that? If it was before the 14th century, then you're wrong.
Is this the picture that we see is of Jesus is Caesar Borgias?
Yeah, we all know that.
That's Caesar Borgias, which was the Pope's son. Okay, in the Catholic religion, the Pope is seen as God on earth. Okay, in Catholic religion, the Pope is seen as God on earth. So when they painted that picture of Caesar Borgias, they said that is God's son.
They said the oldest known portrait of Jesus found in Syria and dated to about 235 shows him as a beardless young man of authoritative and dignified bearing. He is depicted dressed in the style of a young philosopher with close cropped hair and wearing a tunic and pallium, signs of good bearing in Greco-Roman society. So 235 sounds a little bit before the 14th century. So they've been depicting him as a white man. At some point in time, it was before the 14th century.
So you really Googled that?
I said
really
I'm going to find. So okay, so you're saying that the picture wasn't in 235? So what are you saying is not true?
What are you talking about?
Because you said before the 14th century, nothing was whitewashed. That's what you said. I'm telling you, they've been whitewashing for centuries before that.
No, they wasn't.
Okay, well, hey. You think
why
you're
would
right on anything?
Why would they feel to get rid of or hide all the original art? That was the 14th century.
Here's a picture of Jesus in the catacombs of Rome, 3rd century. I don't know everything, but see, you're gonna always say anything that is said is not. If it goes against what you say, is wrong. So
you really Googled that?
Of course.
You trust the people.
Where did you get your information from? Where did you get your information from? Because you wasn't there. So where did you get your information? You had to learn it from somebody. Here's another one from it's 400 between 400 and 410 AD.
Okay, according to them,
it's a lot of pictures actually on here that date well before the 14th century.
According to them, those original pictures were from. There are the original pictures, so they would go right up into that time, according to them.
Christ in Majesty, still with no beard, from an English 12th century illuminated manuscript. These are all pictures of a white Jesus, okay, that looks very sickly and oddly, and they're well before the 14th century. That's my point. Nobody said these are the true pictures of Jesus. Of course, we know these ain't the true pictures.
They're trying to place in your brain that these pictures existed before the Renaissance. They didn't. They did not.
Okay. Well, go with what you know. I don't know. I don't know nothing. Because I'm just going off of what
Yeah, you going off of what Google says,
Wikipedia said.
which is Google.
They didn't say these were real pictures. They're just telling the date of when the pictures were
The
painted.
same people that says that don't want to even admit that Jesus was real. Okay, sure.
Okay, well, enough on that. This is not about Jesus, and it's not about the Renaissance period. So how did we even get on that? We done got way off a topic. What was we? How did we even get on that?
When I'm trying to whitewash stuff.
Well, apparently whitewashing didn't come around till the 14th century. So before that, everything was the truth. Even though there was a lot of it's even in the Bible how people were telling false stuff. It's even in the Bible. So I guess the
What?
Bible is
Telling
wrong.
false stuff.
Yes. You know them when it talks about how they were in the what they used to call them. It wasn't called church. The Pharisees and all them, they were preaching all this false stuff.
In the temples.
Yes, how they were preaching all that false stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. What do you? We're talking about
So
art.
whitewashing has way more.
What does that have to
I'm
do
getting
with
off of
anything?
this subject because you're talking about art. Do you know whitewashing history has so much more than just art? It's so much more. It's the stories. It's the things that they've told and handed down from century after century after century.
you
that
can
are
you can
not
whitewash.
true. That's why I said in
You can whitewash a story.
Yes, they have. What? How do you think people?
Oh, by the way, he was a white man.
Yes, they've whitewashed. Nobody.
The biggest
Nobody
way,
right now.
The biggest way of whitewashing is through the eyes, to the brain.
That's not true. It's also through stories.
So what are they gonna say? Hey,
Writings.
you know Jesus was white, right? Okay, yeah, he was white.
That's what they said.
Oh, really?
That's what they said. They said he was white.
They can tell a story, but if you show the picture, that's why books have pictures.
Well, okay, we all off subject. Yeah. We know whatever you want to call it the Renaissance. I've never heard anybody call it that. I know there was a period in time in history called the Renaissance, but when we're talking about whitewashing history, I've never heard anybody say Renaissance history. Renaissance history. I never heard that.
What?
I've only heard of the term whitewashing
you
history.
You talking about Renaissance history?
No.
What did you say?
I'm saying I've never heard of people saying, "Oh, they Renaissance that time," or that's a form of Renaissance. I've never
about?
Heard because you're saying
that was called the Renaissance period.
You're saying there is
that was
not
a period of time when they started that. It was referred to as the Renaissance period.
Didn't I just clearly say that?
Now, what you saying is
time,
whitewash. That's not an official thing.
So you're saying that it's not true. That's what I'm saying. You're saying whitewash is not a thing. If you want to call it
whitewash, that's what they did. They changed all the pictures, the original pictures, to what they wanted it to be.
It wasn't just about pictures, though.
It wasn't?
No, it wasn't just about pictures. It was literature. It was a lot. It was a lot that they changed. It wasn't just a picture.
How could they whitewash literature?
Oh my God. Okay.
What would they? No.
Just because you know how
we have to bring this out.
I can write a story.
What would they say?
Because I can write a story.
You know he was white, right?
Listen,
they would put that in a story.
You know
that guy was white, right?
Listen, I'm trying to say. You said how can they whitewash literature?
I'm talking about particularly Jesus. How would they whitewash the story of Jesus?
They have.
Tell me how.
through stories handed down. And this generation believes what that generation said, and that generation believes what that.
In a audible, no pictures, audible story.
Okay, you're not making no sense, because when did they have audible books back then?
You do know what audible means.
Do you know what audible means? When you said an audible story, when you say audible story, that means a story that you can actually listen to. What are you? Okay.
You just answered that.
So what are you talking about?
You said they had audible books.
I could write.
What are you talking about?
Listen. I can write a story.
You do know what audible means? Something you can hear.
Oh my God, you ain't even let me talk. I can write a story right now, okay, and I could have every exact detail about my life in that story. I can even put I'm a black woman. I'm whatever height, whatever weight.
I'm not speaking on that.
Somebody can come back and rewrite my story and put what they wanted. How did they whitewash
the story of Jesus?
Do your research on that yourself and find out how they whitewash the story.
You tell me, because you said it.
How did they do it? I'm telling you.
The only story is the story in the Bible.
I'm telling you. Through
how
literature,
would they write?
Through literature
and
through paintings.
Okay, literature is what kind of literature are you speaking of?
Books.
Only book that speak about Jesus is the Bible.
Okay, so then which other way did they depict him as being white? Yes, they painted pictures of him being...
By the picture they painted.
Yeah, they painted pictures of him being white, but I believe those stories was already put into play well before those paintings was even made.
What story are you talking about? Story in the Bible?
Jesus was white. Listen, I don't know the exact time frame or what period they started saying Jesus was white, but it had to be
in the Renaissance period.
It had to be.
They could not be another story but the story that was in the Bible about Jesus. It
had to be well after everybody who was alive during that time was
through
dead.
the eye to the brain.
Okay, moving on.
They know that's the biggest way of showing you something.
We done wasted like 20 minutes talking about
the eye to the brain.
Whitewashing versus the Renaissance is ridiculous. Okay.
You lost that one. What you said made no sense.
How? Because you're saying that the term whitewash doesn't exist.
No.
It's not a term.
I didn't say that. I've said that's not what they called it. It's not.
Okay.
It's called the Renaissance. What you speaking of, whitewash was literally the Renaissance period.
Okay. All right. Can we get back to the topic at hand? Because it has absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Well, this is a podcast. We discuss things.
Okay, so we discussing religion now. Okay, go ahead.
No,
I'm going to let you have the floor.
You lost that one?
I'm going to let you have the floor. You go ahead and discuss religion since that's what you want to.
I'm talking about the Renaissance period.
What does that have to do with exposing the industry?
What?
What does that have to do with exposing the industry?
Well, we were talking about the Renaissance, but you lost that one.
It did. Okay, whatever. So you say, like I said, just because you believe something to be true doesn't mean it's true. Just because it comes out of your mouth, it doesn't mean that it's true.
Listen, everybody that's listening to this, you can research everything I say and find it as fact. You can research everything I say.
That's not true. That's not true. Because if they go to, you just said don't get nothing off of Google. So where are they going to research it at?
Fact.
Where are they going to research it at? Because that's where most people go to get their information.
Called history books.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Go into
research. No.
Books. Okay.
I'm gonna tell you what the research. Research the Renaissance period. What did they do in the Renaissance period? Okay. Research that.
Okay.
And that will tell you basically what they done.
Do it. I just did. And you said it was wrong because I got it off of Google. I just told you, I just read exactly what they were saying about the Renaissance, and you just said it wasn't true because I got it off of Google. So what are they?
No,
where are they going to do the research from?
You do know we are recording, right?
I do know.
So we can run back everything I said.
You just said I got my information from Google, so it's not right.
I said what was wrong was Google. on Google was those depictions of Jesus in the time manner. I never said what the Renaissance period was false. What it said about the Renaissance
But
period.
they're going to say certain things, and they're going to have certain pictures in there.
They gave a light outline of what the Renaissance period did, as they will do. The high.
But guess what? I don't think nobody in right now living on this earth, I don't think nobody can say for 100% fact what happened during the 14th or between the 14th and 16th centuries, because none of us were alive. So information
you do know these people have tradition, and the tradition.
Okay, but every bit of information you got, you have to question.
And do you know?
Because you weren't there.
Do you know that the Catholic Church still have Renaissance painters?
He wants to keep going on.
They name their painters Renaissance painters.
Okay, so for the sake of argument, we're just gonna not call it whitewash anymore. We're gonna call it Renaissance. Okay?
No,
we're gonna just abolish the word.
You talking about two different things. I'm talking about a period of time. You talking about something they did.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. You're talking about a period of time. I'm talking about something that they did well before that, and they'll do it until the end of time, until the end of their time. They're going to whitewash history.
Well, if you want to call it that, whitewashing.
You act like that's a word I made up. Okay.
But you gotta look at the starting point where they started doing that, and why did they start doing that?
Well,
we were talking about them taking the music, taking everything that we made and making it theirs. You know, you got to figure out. You have to know why they doing that, because they can't create anything of their own. So what do we got? What we got next?
That's it. If we're done with that, we're done with exposing the industry, because you just spend about 30 minutes debating over whitewashing in Renaissance.
Well, what's the next video we got?
Okay, so Nori, he's a rapper. He did an interview where he exposed Satanism in the music industry. He also exposed some other things. We got a video about that. This is a short one, so it's not long.
Illuminati exists, period. But in hip hop, we've yet to see.
So outside of it, you feel it exists?
Outside of hip hop, of course, look, there is an Illuminati, but now these are supposed to be old, rich, white guys, that they was the investors of the pyramids. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was the dudes who paid Albuquerque and these guys. You know what I'm saying? To build the jump walls. But does it exist in hip hop? Would they even let people like us in there, or is there a hip hop Illuminati? We don't know, and I'm just as curious as you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I'll be feeling like I'm down with the Illuminati, and sometimes I'm like, them niggas ain't fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man, but it's a level of success where it's a door. It's a door. When you platinum and you getting 50,000 a show, I've been there. There's a door that you can walk in. I'm not sure if it's homo or if it's Illuminati. I just didn't take that though. I went straight.
What do you mean?
Listen. When you get to a level of success, when you getting 30, 40, 50,000 a show, you platinum, you running across the world. There's three different doors, right? There's three different ways to walk. There's to the left. There's to the right, and then there's straight. Straight is you're on your own. Let's see if you continue this success, young man.
Yeah.
Let's see if it's all about your skills, young man. Let's really see that. Okay. And you went straight. To the right, I'm not sure if that's the homo shit right there. And then there's to the left, I'm not sure if there's some sacrifice shit going on right there. I'm not sure, because I went straight. But I was offered these doors.
It's just you were offered
I
some gay shit.
I don't. No. I'm saying that to the right when I seen it, those was those guys over there. You know what I'm saying? Those different people, which I have no problem with. You know, that's y'all. You feel me? And I just chose to go straight, and I haven't been platinum since.
Well, there you have it. Somebody that was in the industry talks about those 3 doors. And then you gotta look at these people who you probably listen to their music and you're like, wow, they're so underrated. I wonder why they never really, got as big, because they're really, really, really talented. Why haven't they had a breakout, or why aren't they bigger than what they are? You gotta question it. Maybe they chose a different door. Everybody ain't with that type of, stuff,
Usually the people that their career, if you want to call it they fall off. They take the straight route.
Yeah. Like he said.
Really, they watch you and they want to see what you going to do, If you go straight, then they consider you, the mass public will consider, he fell off.
Mm-hmm. That's what he said. It's basically like they're saying, let's see how far you can keep this up.
By yourself. But you can't
mm-hmm.
because the way rap music is set up is always a new young guy coming in the game, and they position people as being the new best thing.
And Crazy even talk about that, how they have to keep it a young man's game, because it's not the older people that they're listening to.
Really, it's rigged for you to do that. You think Jay-Z is just in this game just by his skills, his rapping skills?
No, Crazy even said that. It has nothing to do with how much talent you have, because in many of the old school artists, they have come out publicly and say, like, these new school, ever since this gangster rap and all this, ever since that the culture took that type of turn, they talk about how these people don't have no talent. They're just very good influencers. That's all. They just have the ability to influence people.
It ain't even that they have the ability to influence people.
That's a big part of it. You think they want somebody who don't have that ability?
They don't have that ability. They are. It's like the ability is bestowed upon them. It's like they are pushed. They're given that.
Yeah, it takes some manufacturing behind the scene.
They're giving that.
It takes some manufacturing behind the scene, but you have to still be a good influencer to make it work.
Here's the thing, because one wrong move that they don't, the powers that be don't like, if that rapper don't do something that they don't like, it's easily taken away that fast. So if they had that power, then where did it go? Listen, the power is given and it's taken away. They have the power to give it to you.
Because they think they're gods.
In this world, they have, they are gods of this world. Because they have put humans in such a fallen state, and they have their minds. They have the minds of the masses, and they will not let you get that power that they have. They have the minds of the masses. They will let you get a piece of it, but they won't let you get all. They won't let you get what they have. See, they have their hands.
Oh, you'll never have a seat at their table.
They have.
Never.
They have their hands strongly gripped to the minds of the masses. I mean, the masses, because in this world that we live in, you have all these other, you have all these different type of personalities. This type of person, this person thinks this way. This person is in this group, and you know what? They have the power they have their hands on all those different things. This type of person, that type of person. You have take a Jay-Z, right? You have a guy in maybe Idaho somewhere that don't like nothing about hip hop, nothing about it, don't know nothing about the urban community, but he know who Garth Brooks is. What's his name? Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks is, and he loved Garth Brooks. Guess what? They have Garth Brooks. They have the strings on Garth Brooks. They tell Garth Brooks what to do, but you have a kid from Brooklyn that don't know who Garth Brooks. He know who Jay-Z is. Guess what? They got the strings connected to Jay-Z. They tell Jay-Z what to do. See, Jay-Z only has a power to manipulate the people that he can. But they have the power to manipulate everyone. Every single one. That's why it says
the artists are
they're the puppets.
The puppets.
And they are the puppeteers.
The consumers, us, the ones who listening to the music, we're the prey. And the people behind the scenes, they're the puppeteers. So,
but who even know if they are the puppeteers? Can you say they are puppets too?
Oh, it's somebody controlling them.
They are puppeteers too. I mean, they're puppets too.
It's somebody controlling them.
Somebody or something. Something controlling them.
Well, I'm gonna just put it out there. It's some very bad spiritual wicked
entities,
spirits and entities that control them. We don't need to sugarcoat it. It is what it is. It is what it is. That's what it is. That's who controls them. Even the young boy that was the next one we was gonna talk about, Yoke Osiris. He even said, he was like, "Don't say this is a blessing from God. This industry is not a blessing." But we could play the video. It is a short video. But this young guy, I'm not too familiar with his music. I think I heard maybe one of his songs, But he really, for him to be so young, he really coming out and he's saying some real stuff.
What you think it is? Don't let these people fool you, man. Before in the social media, I'm gonna give y'all a little background with me, man. Like, my life is not perfect, man. Don't think because I'm on Instagram showing this, showing that, I don't got a perfect life either. And I want you to understand that just because all these rappers show all this money and show all this fame, don't think their life is good. It's not. These people are always faking and let you know that this is not what y'all want. Do something that's low key. Do something that can help you out, other than being a target or a flashy. Cause God can take this away from you real quick, and it's not a blessing from God. And I tell people that 24/7, this is the devil's game. It is not. This is not no God's game. This right here is for you to look up to me. This right here for you to look up to me. This right here is for you to look up to me. If I don't wear this, you don't look up to me. If
he's absolutely right.
That's why they give them the money, the cars, the jewelry, the women. It's
like the things the wave in front of their face. Because everybody wants those things, and if you give it to the person that's trying to get that's having the influence over people, then they're really going to be influenced by him.
Yep. And notice
because he has everything.
He said that's the devil's game. It ain't God.
If he has everything that this world make you strive after, and that so you want to attain that stuff, then you are the person that they're gonna look at as somebody they want to be like.
The old saying goes, the devil does not come to you with pitchforks and horns. He comes to you in the form of everything you've ever wanted. And
we have to start questioning these entertainers about when they thank God. Who are
I
they
was just
thanking?
finna say
Who
that.
are
I
they really
said
thanking?
this
They're
young
not
boy just said
thanking.
this is the devil game, but these people,
Like
the
it
ones
says-
in these positions, they get up on these award shows, and who the first person they thank?
They thank God, but if you ain't talking about the God
It's
of the
many
Bible,
gods.
yeah,
It's
there are
many
many
gods.
gods. They probably talking about their God.
Yep.
Satan
It's
could be their
many
God.
gods. It's
The devil
many
could be
gods.
their God.
So yeah. So don't
I mean, just
be
because
quick
they
to think
say,
they're.
I mean, give them a name. Who
yeah.
you talking about?
If you not calling him by his name, who are you talking about? That's just like if you know, like my mother used to explain it to me. You walking down the street and you're with if I'm with another female, somebody yell out, "Hey girl," who gonna turn around? Both of us, cause we're both girls. You call me by my name, I'm gonna turn around. You know? So if you ain't calling him by his name, who you talking to? Who you talking about?
But if you're someone that's that you know is calling, saying your name, you're gonna.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But you know, right after he made another he had made another video too where he talked about it more and you know, he was saying how, you know, this is the devil's game and how, you know, why if and it makes perfect sense. And I've always thought that they get on TV and people think they're talking about God, like the true God, the creator of the universe. They think they're talking about them. But then you have to think about it. You're thanking God. You're thanking God for making a song like WAP. Or making a song where you're selling drugs to people. Or making a song where you're killing people. Oh, okay. Yeah.
You thinking
yeah,
your
you
God.
are thanking your God. The God who promotes that, who is all about that type of lifestyle.
And, something I seen the other
Put
night.
2 and 2 together, y'all. It's not that hard.
Let's talk about Megan Thee Stallion, her performance on Saturday Night Live.
Oh,
Her
I was
little-
gonna put that in the
her
lineup,
little-
but I was like,
Her little speech.
yeah. Which, listen,
She's really milking the cow, isn't she?
she's definitely milking the cow. But you know what?
I don't think
She's
people are
talking
falling
about.
for it.
Listen,
though.
she's talking about, and she had the words of Malcolm X playing.
And right after she does a.
Oh my God, people!
Are you crazy?
This is making my hair hurt. Like I just said it. I'm living in an alternate reality.
Okay, she does that. Then she does a performance where she degrades herself.
Exactly. You
Where does
so
she
you have to
we have to protect black women.
protect black women.
Oh,
but
but
in your
wait,
songs,
I'm finna perform a degrading dance and performance
no, not
that
even
degrades
that.
black
Oh,
women.
let's protect the black men. But in your songs, you talk about all this stuff you do to black men.
Yeah.
Make it make sense. Please, somebody, anybody, make it make sense to me, please. Because none of it makes sense. She's milking this whole situation. She's milking it to the cow runs dry.
She's on her Black Power thing, but then she goes and
That's why
after she says that, she degrades black women.
It's disgusting. And listen, I don't want people to think, oh, we just be coming for Megan and the song WAP and Cardi B and all that. Because
we are coming for that song.
Okay, but to be fair, there has been many songs like that. Many songs that have been explicit like that. Come on now. I used to be a avid Trina listener, and let me tell you,
I ain't never really listened to Trina like that.
well, let me tell you, she got some songs on there like that too. So it's not that I'm just coming for.
It wasn't.
But that's what's popular right now.
Hit.
No, none of Trina's songs ever got to be a number 1 hit.
It wasn't.
Yeah, that's the difference.
It wasn't available for little children. I mean, for you to hear that, you had to actually go to the store
and buy a
purchase
CD.
her CD and listen to it.
Yeah.
Which little children wasn't doing that. A 7-year-old child wasn't going in a store with and it had the parental advisory sticker.
Oh, of course.
Which
And see,
meant
that's the
that
difference
you couldn't,
now.
if you was that age, you couldn't buy
Yeah.
it. And we all know they were still
And
selling.
see, that's the difference now.
parental-
People want to say, well, Two Live Crew and what's it with Uncle Luke and all them, they had all that, sexually explicit stuff. But that stuff wasn't so easily accessible to young children like the stuff that is now.
You had to actually go out and
You didn't even hear that stuff on the radio.
try and find it.
Yeah, you didn't even hear that.
It took a trip. You had to go to the music store and walk and look for the album, then go up to the counter and purchase it. Now all the kid have to do is pull out a song
Pull out the phone.
and it's right there
Yeah.
in top videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to search
Yeah.
it no more.
Yeah.
All you have to do okay.
That's the difference. So
and
when
it's
you want to
there.
compare that Uncle Luke, Two Live Crew, when you compare that,
And
just
let's be
understand the
honest.
differences in time. That's what you have
And
to
let's
understand.
be honest, Two Live Crew wasn't putting out videos like that. They was really like underground.
You
Two Live
heard it
Crew
in
wasn't-
clubs.
yeah, you
it
heard
wasn't
it in
no
clubs.
7-year-olds in
You
clubs
had-
now.
you had-
Come on
you
now.
had- I mean,
You gotta use
they
logic at some
they
point.
wasn't played on the radio.
Yeah, that's what I said. You didn't even hear you. It was
If you didn't, most times kids that age didn't know
Didn't
who Uncle
even know-
Luke
yep.
was.
unless you brought their album or unless you were in the clubs and actually heard
Yeah.
this. That's probably
That
the only
was
time
adult.
who knew
That was-
about it.
that
It was
was-
an adult
yeah.
thing. You didn't hear. It wasn't until.
Luke's Freak Show. I mean,
you did hear, you did have the little, some little kids that, was, playing Doodle Brown and all that back in the day. But like I said,
Luke
it
didn't
wasn't
make
so
Doodle Brown.
easily.
Or did he? He made Doodle Brown.
No, I ain't say he made Doodle Brown. I said you did have some kids who, had, was listening to that type of music or whatever. But like, that's not the point we're making. We're not saying no children ever in history listen to things they wasn't supposed to listen to. The point we're making is more easily accessible today to these children.
What?
So therefore, the artists need to be a little bit more conscious of that, but they don't care. They don't care. So that's just bottom line. They don't care. They're appeasing their masters.
I mean,
But like I said, we can go all night. It's a part 2 because it's some more deeper. It go deeper. And I think next week this is gonna be a 2-part series. Because next week we're gonna go, because we'll be here for hours, trying to go into everything. So next week is gonna be part 2 of exposing the industry, because it's even some more real, and y'all gonna want to tune in for this one, because this it goes way deeper. And like I said, it's a lot of stuff coming from the horse's mouth, people who are in the industry, artists themselves. So stay tuned for next week's episode, because it's gonna be part 2. We're gonna go into more about what Jaguar, right, what she's been saying. We're gonna explore that more on a deeper level. So yeah, the rabbit hole goes deep. I hope people, with us, bringing all this, and we're not the first people to talk about this, okay? But I just hope that the people who listen to us and who enjoy listening to us, hopefully you can leave learning something. Hopefully this will open somebody's eyes, So, I don't know.
That's gonna end the show. Again, don't forget about the contest we got going on, or the drawing. $250 at 100 subscribers. When we hit 100 subscribers,
The one lucky winner.
we'll be giving out $250 to a lucky winner. Hurry up and get those 100 subscribers in, because we're gonna be doing another giveaway at
Don't they have,
1,000
outside
subscribers,
sources?
and it's gonna be a lot more money.
Don't they have outside programs that
Might
pick
double,
winners for you?
may triple. What?
Don't they have outside programs or sources that pick winners for you, so people know you ain't being biased?
No,
Yeah, it is.
I mean, no,
It is.
nobody do that. I mean,
It is some influencers
Yeah, I
that
ain't doing
use
that.
outside sources to pick their winners.
Who gonna do that for $250?
I'm not saying we're gonna do it. I was just simply asking a question. Jeez.
Well, whatever. Yeah. Get in the comments, like and subscribe. Most of all, subscribe. Subscribe to all social medias. Like I said, I'm still working on some documentaries that's going to be coming out. I'm going to be doing more videos on the channel. If you like that kind of exposing type videos, let us know. Hit us in a DM. So yeah. We'll see you. When is the next episode? Friday.
Friday.
We'll see you Friday. And we're out of here.
Peace.